Hi friends, this is Lopa here. As you can see, this is my very first process video. I don't even know if anyone would be interested in watching this, but I've been going back and forth whether I should do it or not, and finally have taken the plunge. So, with Valentine's Day being just around the corner, I thought I'd make this card. Um, it could be a masculine card, giving it to your boyfriend or husband, or actually anybody. Um, it's got black and gold on it, and some craft paper as well. So, today is going to be a journey of how this card was made. I am by no means a pro crafter. There are so many talented people out there making such beautiful things. I have made so many mistakes just making this very simple card, and you'll see that in the video. But I thought, what the heck, let me just go ahead and do this. Maybe some people might be interested, right? So, here goes. So here's my love card. That's what I call it. That's the close up. You can see a heat embossed background in gold with these die cuts which have gold inlays, and then there's some black sequin which I thought would look good. So this is what I used for my background. It's from Gina Designs and it's a script stamp. um, I have a mini Misty to stamp images. Um, this did not fit in it. So what I did was I put it on my work surface and then put the paper on top of it um, to get an image out of it. Didn't work. A lot of things which I do don't work that well, but I love doing this and I keep going. So here you can see me putting some anti-static powder. One more thing I have to say is I'm not on any design team with any of the companies. I have bought all of these supplies with my own money. Anti-static powder, then Versamark ink goes on the stamp, and then I take my craft paper. It's the brand is Nina, and I put it on top of the stamp, and with a very dirty cloth I rub it, and then I realize, oh my god, it's not that good of an impression, but then I don't need that good of an impression. So this is a Ranger gold embossing powder, and I want to cover this panel with the embossing powder, which I do. um, and then I will heat set it. Of course, I make a mess. I adore people who can do crafting and not make a mess. There I'm pointing to all the powder that's on the work surface. I always mess this up. I can never get the powder on the paper that I put below. Now I'm trying to pick it up with my finger. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Anyway, so finally I have heat embossed it with a heat tool, and now you see the image closely. It really doesn't matter because it's a script thing, and the script is not really visible even if it is stamped and embossed properly. So I kind of let it be and move on to my die cutting. So the die cuts are from Pink Fresh Studios, and this is called Kelly Alpha lowercase. They're so pretty with like little flowers of or leaves that come off from the inside. So I first die cut from the gold cardstock, and you'll see why I do the gold cardstock, because I inlay the little leaves or heart shaped thingies that are there inside, and that takes, oh my god, so long. But since I started it, I had to finish it, right? So I mean, I see these wonderful crafters do so much inlay work, and half the time when I'm trying to do that, I lose the little die cut pieces, and I have to go back and die cut all over again. So, anyway, this is the first time I'm cutting out these letters, and I do it 3 times in all. So, the first time is from the golden cardstock, and two more times from black cardstock. I might not have filmed all of that on camera, but I do it three times. And I've learned this trick from Jennifer Maguire. Thank you, Jennifer. She always cuts her die cuts several times and stacks them one on top of the other. It is time consuming, it is cumbersome, but it does give your card a nice raised texture. So here you see on the camera that I am doing it from the black cardstock this time, and this is a 110-pound black cardstock, so it's pretty thick. I stick those letters on with a purple tape, which is low tack tape. It doesn't tear the cardstock or anything after you actually die cut it. Um, the most time consuming part is to get the little hearts inside the letters out, and if you have a pokey tool, it's very useful. So that's what I do it with the pokey tool. And once everything is done, I use this zig memory system two-way glue. It's a glue pen, and it's extremely helpful to stack all the dies one on top of the other. So this one is, I first stack the gold, then one black, and then the other black. So this is how I do it. All the gold hearts I preserve so that I can inlay it with those gold hearts. So this is me doing the letter L. So first the gold, then two black, and after that's done, I kind of take a sliver off of the background panel that I've created so that there's a little border. So you can see the little sliver that I take off. I don't even measure it as such. It's like maybe less than half an inch. The folded cardstock that I used for the base is a black one, and I want a little border around this panel, so that's the reason I take off the little sliver. And once I mount this on the folded cardstock or the base, you can see there'll be a border around it. So the folded cardstock is the usual size, a small size, that is 4¼ by 5½. This one is a little less than that. So the width is, as you can see on this work surface, I measure it as 4. So I take a T ruler and I mark the middle with a pencil, just to get to know where the center is. I'm extremely bad at eyeballing things, so but I do it nonetheless. But now I measured the other side, and it's kind of a weird size, so it's 5 and something. And again, I'm just like, okay, let me just go a little more than 5½, and it should be the center. So basically get the center so that the letters can be put on each of these 4 boxes that you've created by. But in case you do this, then one has to remember to erase the pencil line. My cutter is not, I think the blades have gotten a little blunt, so that's why I use my scissors to get rid of the ragged edges. So here's the base, and you see there's a slight border around the edges. Again, I learned it from awesome crafters like Jennifer Maguire to do that, and it looks really pretty. So I place my stacked up die cut letters on each of these little on the 4 boxes that I've created, and now I will glue these on, and then comes the most time consuming part, the inlay of the little hearts. I had to cut out the golden letters several times to get more and more hearts because I was losing them, although I kept them in a little bowl, as you can see to the right side of the camera. Here I show you how I inlaid it. That looks really pretty. So, but all the hard work was worth it because it looks really pretty. So I'm going to speed up everything here on, so not to bore you too much. Here you see me gluing those letters, and they're all glued up on the panel, and I have poured a little bit of glue on that black cardstock from which I had cut out the letters, and I'm going to pick up each of these little hearts, put them in the glue there, and then go into those letters and make sure they are glued in. I make a mess with the glue, it's all over the place. I have to uh, rub it out and kind of, but in the end it all works out and it looks nice. So there you see, I've got glue on my fingers, got glue everywhere, and sometimes I lose these little hearts. I'm such a sloppy crafter. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, this is what it's all about, right? It's all about getting your hands dirty and getting something pretty at the end of it all and feeling all satisfied and happy. So, yeah, that's what it was. And um, the process was time consuming, but it was all good at the end. So soon my L is going to be all done. The first letter of the word love. Here you see my L is done with those inlay little golden hearts. And now I move on to the second one, and I will not bore you with that. After all the letters are done, I just put some double-sided foam tape at the back of the panel and mount it on top of the black uh, folded cardstock that I have. And whenever I have a darker colored cardstock, I put a white cardstock inside so that it's easier for the person to write on, because with black cardstock it kind of becomes difficult. And then in the center you can put whatever message you want or whatever sentiment you want. And this one I think I use just a little note to say, yep, there it is. That's the finished card. This is my first video, guys, so a lot of mistakes. Maybe it's a little too long, too boring, whatever you feel. Please let me know what you feel, and I'm going to improve in the future. Need some love from all of you. Show me some love, please. Thank you, and bye bye.